basically, there is a belief within the Messianic and the Hebrew roots movement, and I would say within some scholarship as well, right? So some scholars believe this as well. However, I don't believe it's the prevailing view. And the view is this, that the baptism directly descends from a mikvah, or that it is some form of a mikvah. If you don't know what a mikvah is in Judaism and within the Torah, it's a ritual bath. Okay, so a bath that you would take for uncleanness. I become ritually unclean. I have to go to the temple. What do? I go and I take a ritual bath, okay? And so it is believed that baptism is the child, is the child of mikvahs, okay? So when John the Baptist goes out to the Jordan, what he does is he's just performing a mikvah, and he's just doing it unto Christ or unto himself or unto whatever it may be at the time that he starts doing mikvahs. This is what John the Baptist is doing. Now, we have opposed this view, and we've opposed this view not because we just feel like opposing stuff, but there is scholarship that has really pushed on the idea that a baptism comes from a mikvah. Now, are they related in some ways? Probably, of course. They both have to do with water, and certainly there is some symbolism that crosses over. But really the question that takes shape within the scholarly realm, and a good person to look at for this is Dr. Craig Keicher. I disagree with Dr. Craig Keicher on many, many things. However, he is a dynamite scholar and a wonderful man. I've interviewed him on this show before. And we see him and chat with him every ETS and SBL. It's just a wonderful person. Nonetheless, he has argued that the mikvah is separate from a baptism. And the reason why is because mikvahs were not initiations into a sect, right? They were not initiations into anything. They were not pledging allegiance. They were performing an act of symbolism of becoming clean, taking ritual cleanness and becoming ritually clean through a bath. Whereas a baptism seems to initiate you and pledge allegiance to someone or something or some movement. So the question is when would a mikvah have shifted so greatly in understanding and theology to become that? And so it's believed, well, maybe it wasn't connected. Maybe something else happened. And what we see is that the first attestation, as it were, of a baptism that we see, now this is debated, I will admit, and I want Rob to come in on this. As soon as I mention Qumran, I'll pass over to you, Rob. But it's argued by Keicher that the baptism, the first time we see baptism as an initiation rite into a sect or into a person or into allegiance into something, is actually in the Gospels. He argues that the initiation into the Qumran sect is not actually a baptism, but just a mikvah that would be done over and over and over and over and over again. In other words, the first time a person comes into the sect after being in their trial period for 2 years, they would come in, they would do a mikvah, and then that was the first of several a day for the rest of their lives. And so this is not like a baptism, because a baptism is different. It's once for all. Do you have anything to say about that, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good distinction to make. That this idea of immersion for a specific purpose, like in the name of, right, which we see at the end of Matthew 28, baptizing them. The idea is that means it is a social marker, a one-time social marker. Like it's a public display, if you will, in the community, in a specific community, which reflects a transition, right, into, you could say maybe even conversion. Not that the baptism itself is a conversion, but it's marking, it's publicly claiming this transition into the people of God, the ecclesia. Right.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.